Welcome to another episode of Pugging with Shintar, and I don't know why someone threw snowflakes at me in May, but there you go. Today we are going to pug some Uprisings. Handily, it is also Uprising bonus day, which will hopefully make the queues a bit faster, because I'm not sure they are going to be fast. You would think that with Uprisings in story mode following the same format as veteran flashpoints of just requiring for random people of any role, they would be really quick. But in the past it hasn't really been my experience. There can be a substantial wait. I'm not sure what it's going to be like today. I mean, it is bonus day, but it's also gone 9 o'clock in the evening on a Saturday, so could go either way, I guess.
This woman has led an exceptional career.
That didn't take as long as I feared.
Exceptional women like me and Dorn should stick together.
As you can see, I went to do some quests, fearing that it was going to take a while, but I only waited just about 5 minutes. Of course, now we need everyone to actually hit accept. Like that it says Sentinel Role Tank, so that bug where Guardians are displayed as Sentinel and vice versa is still in there. Oh well, it timed out. What a shocker. Here we go again. Woot! We are not AFK and we've got done and dusted. I think this was actually the first Uprising I ever did, so it seems kind of appropriate to start Pagette's Uprising journey in here as well. Well, what are Uprisings? In case you don't know, they are sort of like flashpoints, except a bit different.
We've got a problem. The Dust Viper gang ambushed one of our Alliance patrols and made off with Odessan security data. Now they're selling it to the highest bidder. We can shut down those vicious scumbags, but you'll need to hit them hard and fast. Stop into the
Do we
Dust
have
Viper's
here?
den,
Vanguard,
take down their leader, Belner,
Shadow,
then recover our data.
Guardian.
Can't forget that.
Anyway, yes, the Uprisings are level 70 only and were released with the Knights of the Eternal Throne expansion. I believe BioWare's pitch at the time was something like flashpoints, but more fast-paced, which didn't sound that great to me at the time either. But I don't know. They thought it was gonna be great, obviously. But to me, it honestly didn't make sense from the beginning, because as I've said before in this series, I don't think flashpoints need to be any faster. I don't know what's up with people's obsession with claiming that flashpoints take forever when they take 20 to 30 minutes if you don't wipe, even at the casual pace. But it is what it is. I don't think I've actually timed an Uprising. I think the shortest one, if you have a really fast group, can be done in about 5 minutes. I'm not sure myself. I'm pretty sure I've never done one in 5 minutes, but maybe 10. So they are a bit faster than flashpoints, but I've still never felt that there was a demand for this. That aside, I actually find them kind of less fun than flashpoints in general, aside from speed. It's hard for me to put my finger on it. I think the main reason is that I really dislike the trash. Let's pick this up. I mean, there are some fun mechanics with trash, like this thing area I just picked up, a thermal devastator, which is basically a big grenade you can pick up from these crates and throw around, so woo, blowing up lots of mobs at once. But I think this is actually the main problem with Uprising trash, that it consists of a bazillion weak mobs for the most part, that you're just supposed to AoE down. Maybe the guy at BioWare who came up with this thought that people didn't get to use their AoE abilities enough in flashpoints, and that this was a thing that needed to be done. But for me, the main takeaway is if you make lots of weak trash, you end up with everything on the healer, because people are not gonna AoE in time, which is what you saw here as well. Actually, on this boss, I was tanking quite a few of these ads. I managed to pick this up. This here is actually a sort of fun mechanic, if people do it. Actually, first you see the way this trash is annoying. There's like lots of really weak mobs, but they're super spread out, so it's not as if people can AoE them if they want to. So you just run around killing lots of weak mobs, they don't drop anything. And for some reason, for me, mobs dropping something is actually really important. I know my guildies like to make fun of me for running after all the loot beams, even if it's just for a few credits. But I like that feeling of getting something for killing things. So I find it very unrewarding that trash in Uprisings doesn't drop anything. It's just there to be in your way. Now, what is this slightly fun mechanic? This thing I picked up from the first boss can be used over these little sand swirlies to summon a random animal pet, which is only temporary, but it's still quite fun. Like, I got a dune claw here. Nice. And there's also, basically there's like a dozen different ones you can get, and there's an achievement for summoning them all. I believe the first time I came here, which was with my guildies, we actually ran around summoning pets over and over until everyone got the achievement, which was a bit silly, but... Anyway, this boss does a sort of snipe, and you do get a warning about who she's about to snipe, but I'm not sure how reliable it is. It seems accurate here that Mojotronic did indeed get sniped, but in the past there was the issue that it said one person was getting sniped, but it was actually someone else, so it was confusing more than helpful. Oh, a sort of quasi-tank. Oh, good. I was gonna say he's about to die, but he ran to a... what is the equivalent of a culto station from a flashpoint, except it's not really a station, it is also kind of worse than a culto station, in my opinion anyway. Basically, instead of a culto station you click on, you get these little buffs that you're just supposed to run over, and that sounds good in theory, I guess, because you shouldn't have any problems with the culto station not being clickable, like you can sometimes get when there's a big boss in your face. On the other hand, you can run over them by accident when you don't mean to and trigger them that way, and for some reason they take much longer to respawn than the culto stations take to reset.
There's a nasty character near your location. Goes by the name Rakesh the Foul. He's a dangerous criminal, wanted in every sector.
There's a little bonus boss here, which people are ignoring. But I can't really complain, because this is another issue. There is a bonus boss, but it doesn't drop anything. The regular bosses don't drop anything. So the trash doesn't drop anything, the bosses don't drop anything, except for I think the very last one. And it just feels annoying. I do get the impression that I'm not alone in my opinion of not liking Uprisings as much as Flashpoints. Or at least I've never met anyone who was like, oh yeah, I love Uprisings, they're so much fun. I've never met anyone who absolutely hated them either, but the point is they are not interesting enough that you would prefer them over most other endgame content. I mean, this is the only reason I'm running them right now is because for this series I wanted to run Uprisings. If I didn't, I wouldn't, because I would always rather do a flashpoint or even an operation or anything. I mean, there's nothing terribly wrong with them, as I said, but we're just running around, killing things, not getting anything for it until the very end. And yeah, I mean, the boss fights are also recycled, as are the environments, which I don't have a problem with in principle. I mean, the environments that they did recycle are usually things that people didn't see very much anyway. I mean, this is a compound on Tatooine. I think it's actually slightly changed from an existing one. But some of the others have things like a part of Legacy of the Rakata is recycled, or the trench area from the explosive conflict operation. So places where people didn't go very much anyway, so it's not bad to see them again. And similarly, recycling some mechanics is not a bad thing in the way, like the first boss with the snipe was similar to the second boss in Maelstrom Prison with his laser eyes. Again, that's fine. I don't expect every boss to be totally unique. Ooh, I have a battle panther. But somehow the way it all comes together is just kind of a bit boring. Ooh, there's a lot of damage going around here. I guess I could always run over one of the sort of culto stations here. Ooh. Get everyone healed up. They also don't feel as well tuned to not having a healer as veteran flashpoints. I mean, some veteran flashpoints aren't well tuned to not having a healer, but most of them are doable, I found. Here I think it's actually kind of harder, despite of the shortness, because you have all these adds, and they add up to a lot of damage. The longer cooldown on the heals means you have fewer options if you don't have a healing class in the group. Also, these ads are pretty dumb. Like, we're in combat with all these mobs and they just stand there looking at us from a distance but not trying to get closer or anything. I feel like I've really ragged on Uprisings already, and this is actually one I really don't mind, because I think the little pets are cute and the bosses are alright. I guess it is quite quick. But
the Dust Viper's raiding days are over. Good news for us and for the Outer Rim. Of course, we can't forget the best news of all. You stopped our data from falling into enemy hands. The Alliance base is safe. You did some real good today. Now kick back and celebrate.
I didn't actually check. I think that was about 10 minutes, wasn't it? And yeah, wow, one green CXP pack is basically your reward at the end. Huzzah! Great. Well, since that was so quick, I will definitely do another. My plan is actually to do all of them on story mode at some point for this series. So I will do the same I did for Flashpoints, which is to start unticking the ones I've done. So that's done and dusted. Done and dusted. Yay puns. And that leaves 9 other ones, I believe. Because there are 10 Uprisings. I mean, BioWare did go all out on this concept when it first came out. They released 5 at once, and then like one patch later they released another 5, and it was like, look at all this group content we're adding. And we were all like, okay. I mean, you're trying, but it's kind of boring. Yeah, here we go again, 2 healers. With flashpoints I usually reject this, but I've been in the queue 10 minutes again. I think I'll hit accept. This is another downside of Uprisings only taking about 10 minutes. It feels quite annoying to be in a queue for 10 minutes to do a bit of content that's only 10 minutes. I mean, the Oblast last time also only took an hour after 2.5 hours of waiting, but still an hour is quite a substantial amount of time to be doing something. But to wait 10 minutes to do something for 10 minutes is a bit meh. We'll see if the other healer even accepts. Maybe they'll decline or time out. It timed out again. One thing I've often thought is that Uprisings would maybe be a bit better if you could do them while leveling up, because then you could queue while you're doing quests and stuff. I mean, okay, I'm doing that now anyway. But most people probably won't do as much questing at max level as they do for leveling. And I guess then the wait time wouldn't be as bad. And maybe you would even get XP from killing the mobs, making it maybe feel a little bit more worthwhile than it does right now. But for some reason, BioWare has insisted on Uprisings being level 70 only, which makes sense from a story point of view, because the story in the Uprising, as far as it exists, is that it takes place after the events of Eternal Throne. But at the same time, they haven't really cared that much about story consistency in Flashpoint since 4.0. I mean, you could stumble into False Emperor at level 15, and nobody minds. I mean, I'm not saying that's a good thing, I'm just saying that's how the rest of the game is. So it's curious that they insisted on this for Uprisings. Especially since there isn't really that much story going on in them. I mean, yes, technically, the fact that they are even happening is related to Eternal Throne. But what's happening inside the Uprisings is basically, hey, there's a bad guy over there, kill him. And frankly, you can do that at any level without it feeling like a massive spoiler, to be honest. We're back with the same healer from earlier, I think. I guess she came back and queued again. Is she gonna hit the button this time? And timed out again. And it's the exact same person again. Will she click accept this time? She did. Okay, let's go. It's Fractured, which became infamous for being exploitable shortly after it came out because the last boss had a bug where the last boss is actually two bosses, and one of them would basically one-shot himself if you pulled him the right or wrong way.
Within Sith intelligence, led by a former Imperial Cipher and a powerful Sith Lord, Major Corvin and Lord Admiral are launching devastating attacks on Alliance settlements. By striking us, they're attempting to reclaim the glory days of the Sith Empire. We've tracked their operations to Vanguard Station. Board the facility and end this threat.
The other healer is offering to go DPS. I said I don't mind. I mean, it would probably make it a bit faster, but it's not like these things take very long anyway. What do we have here? Guardian, Sage, Sage. In case you're wondering how much experience I have with Uprisings, I have done them all on story mode, I have done them all on hard mode. I have not done all of them on master mode because some of them are incredibly hard. Plus, more bugginess. For example, the last time we tried... I forget the name, is it Trial and Error? The one with the Rackles? We tried that one on master mode. And... suddenly, the boss we were wiping on and kept trying just despawned. And you can't advance any further because there's a closed door without killing the boss. And since it was gone, we just had to give up. Yay. Anyway, this is, yeah, so as I said, this is the infamous one that was exploited a lot. And that people claim to be able to do in 5 minutes. It is also, this is one I have done on master mode because for some reason this one is really easy on master mode while some of them are incredibly hard. This one is very easy and you barely even notice the difference. I guess some of the mobs hit a little bit harder. Yay. that's BioWare's tuning. Always very inconsistent. Yeah, so like with the other Uprising, it's mostly lots of trash mobs. We beat them down. Oh, the droids gave a bit of command XP, but most of the small ones don't. And you run through to the end.
Loved ones. Loss is a terrible thing.
They were weak. Vermin must be stamped out.
But I feel I'm ragging on Uprisings a lot. And this is only the first episode where I'm doing some of them. It must sound like I hate them with a passion, but as I said, that's really not the case. I'm just not that excited about them either. To say a few positive things about them, I do like the various achievements there are in some of them, like to kill X mobs with these special abilities you can pick up,
Such a shame,
or
Commander.
some of them have hidden mobs which are officially Alliance spies, and you have to find them, and if you find them and walk up to them, you get an achievement. Whoa, this sage was getting a there, swoosh. Should I just combo dress him? No, I can do it out of combo dress. Hope. Some of the bosses are also a bit memorable. I mean, as I said, they all have recycled mechanics, so there's nothing too exciting there on that front. But for example, in this one, the premise is that your enemies are Imperial defectors, I think. So basically, the final boss are an Imperial agent and the Sith Lord, and I find it just they're an interesting pair from the voice acting, I find, and even though I can't remember the names, which is usually a mark against that sort of thing, but I do like the idea, you know, that these two have teamed up to fight the Alliance commander. Also, this part here with the jumping across these bridges is kind of cool. I mean, that's a neat little mechanic. First time I came here, I died because I wasn't sure how to get down there. I mean, I saw the arrow and was like, do I have to jump? So I jumped and I died. But no, you're supposed to click on it from range. Isn't there another thermal devastator or something down here? Yeah, I can't pick up another one. Oh. Did the other sage do what I did and just jump down and die? Looks like it. Maybe it's his first time as well. He also released, so we'll see if he... I'll see if he finds his way down this time. That is really funny though, that just as I explained how that works and how I died, someone gives a live demonstration. He died again. I hope he doesn't release so we can at least revive him. Can't really revive him while he's perpetually falling. Wow, no, he's released again. Well, I guess we have to wait because we can't actually continue any further here. We have to all click on this console to disable this force field. Oh wow, he left. He left. It was too much. Wow. Wow.
Your alliance is made of filth. It will fall.
Who's
and
group
so
lead?
will you.
I'm afraid Lord Admiral's right. It's almost time for you to say goodbye. Don't worry. We'll make your end nice and quick.
I've got your back.
Well, actually, I suggested we should get a replacement, but we might not. We might not get one in time anyway. I still can't believe that guy left. He must have been very new or something to find this thing so intimidating.
Behind you, sir.
Anyway, we are at the last boss already anyway. I summoned Jorgen for a little bit of extra DPS.
For my empire!
Yes, here we have the duo Lord Anvil and the person behind the force field who I can't target at the moment. Yeah, the exploit was that Lord Anvil basically one-shot himself.
Die and be done with it!
Not doing so good.
Whoa, Eric. I guess I should tell him to get out of the AoE.
Touch me, scum!
On your lead.
Never! Not to...
There's the other person, Major Corvin. So Lord Anvil and Major Corvin. I always think she doesn't sound very concerned by Lord Anvil's death. Reminds me of the way you can play the Imperial Agent in that story and be sort of obedient to the Sith but hate them at the same time. But then they did team up specifically to work against the Alliance commander. You think they would like each other a little more, maybe?
You're done here.
Going down.
Again, I think this was quite hard without the healer. You can see people taking a fair amount of damage. It's jumping around again. I think it's a reasonably entertaining mechanic.
This is all wrong.
Don't know where Eric is. I guess he doesn't know how to jump. It's a bit chaotic. I don't think there are gonna be any more ads out there. No, let's throw this in.
Not...
This wasn't the plan.
Excellent job, Commander. Our allies can breathe safely knowing they're no longer the target of lunatics. With Lord Anvil and Major Corvin
Funny, that
out,
also
we can
earned me
once
some
again rally others
conquest
to our cause.
achievements.
We proved today that we protect our own. The galaxy
Not
won't
very
soon forget
many
this.
points though. Okay, well that was that. I have been recording for nearly an hour, but a lot of that was spent waiting, so I fear it's gonna be a slightly short episode. Considering the actual uprisings were only about 10 minutes each. But at the same time, I figure it's not gonna... the queues are not gonna get any faster at this time of day, and to be honest, I was sort of planning on doing 2 uprisings per episode, maybe. Damn it, I forgot to take a screenshot inside the uprising for the video thumbnail. Oh, they're asking if I want to stay for more. Well, I guess then I could do one more. And maybe I'll remember to take a screenshot in that one. Oh, we got fractured again. I wonder if they intentionally queued for the same one again, or if that's just randomness. Well, at least it'll give me an opportunity to take a screenshot or two.
I've discovered a dangerous rogue faction within Sith intelligence, led by a former Imperial cipher and a powerful Sith Lord. Major Corvin and Lord Admiral are launching devastating attacks on Alliance settlements. By striking us, they're attempting to reclaim the glory days of the Sith Empire.
What is this guy doing?
Operations to Vanguard Station.
He's half naked and doing exercises in front of the mobs.
Loss is a terrible thing.
They were weak. Vermin must be stamped out.
In here, even I don't like to hang back to scavenge things because, well, they live up to the promise of being fast-paced. So I feel like if I try to scavenge anything, the rest of the group will just go wherever. It's barely enough time to pick up these goodies here.
Such a shame, Commander. You have so much power, and not a clue what to do with it.
Scum has no imagination.
I do feel, what's her name, Major Coven is onto something there when she says you have so much power and you've not a clue what to do with it. That's to be honest, that is how I always felt about being Alliance Commander. No clue why I got into that role. Wow, did we actually successfully skip that group? I am usually rubbish at skipping that group. So in that regard, Uprisings are like flashpoints. I am not a fan of skipping things and I'm not good at it, but we succeeded in this case. Wow.
For my empire!
Why is D Panda not coming?
Die and be done with it!
Oh wow. That rocket launch was completely wasted because the ads were already dead. Oh well. I'm so slow. I swear they're killing everything before I'm even arriving. I'm clearly not made for fast-paced content.
This is all wrong!
Not.
This wasn't
What the?
Excellent job.
What just happened?
Our allies can breathe
I don't think I've
safely
ever seen her die over here. I didn't think it was possible for her to die before she jumps back.
Again, rally others to our cause. You proved today that we protect our own.
I don't know if our DPS was that high or if she just bugged out in some way. Right, this time I will leave. I did remember to take a screenshot. And I don't really want to do this one, same one again. Okay, that's it for tonight. Not sure if the next episode is going to be an operation, or I might do a special episode for the new Flashpoint. I hadn't even thought about that. I mean, yes, this season isn't meant to be about Flashpoints, but when we get the new one, that's definitely worth talking about, right? Plus, it's the most fun to pug at a time when most people still don't even know what they're doing, and it's confusing, and everybody's like, "What is this?" There is a special charm to pugging in that environment. We shall see. Either way, I will see you next time.